Welcome to the podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. This is the Real Healing Institute show. I'm a divine healer and a spiritual, intuitive teacher. I don't know exactly how to put across what it is that I do. When I work with clients, I can see the energy in them. I know what needs to be moved. I can tune into this energy and know what it is. And I'll, get messages for these people, and then we work on a soul level. You do the work, but I guide the process easily, and you guys do the work and you heal things within yourself, which allows you to free up your energy and to use it for your purpose here on Earth. So today we are talking about doubts and doubtful energy and what it does and what happens if you have self-doubt. So I want to start by saying this. Have you ever, I was a little kid, I remember being in church and praying for something and praying over and over and over and over. And I remember my Sunday school teacher at the time saying something like, you don't have to keep praying for the same things. You just have to pray one time and believe. And that was so profound for me at the time, because I would, sit there and be like, oh, pray, it hasn't happened yet. I need to keep praying. But what that was showing, what that was doubt. It was doubt that what I had prayed for wasn't heard, God must be sleeping. He didn't hear me. I don't have the thing yet. But what that was doubt. And so, I see this too with people. They'll be doing some kind of work, and they'll, have to say it over and over and over again. And it's like you're saying it over and over again because you actually don't believe it, because you doubt. So when we ask for something, or we pray for something, or we expect something, or we whatever, it's one time that we request, or that we ask, or that we whatever, and then it's followed by just pure faith and belief that, of course, I'm expecting this thing to happen if it's for the highest and best, because I already asked for it. I don't got to ask for it 10 times or 2 times. I got to ask for it one time. So what happens when we have doubt within us? You'll notice, let's say that you were talking to somebody and you're having a conversation, and they start talking, and I'm like, is this just me that picks up on this? I don't know, maybe you guys do too. But if you're talking to somebody and they start lying, or it's not even lying, I guess it is, but it's just embellishing or saying something that's not actually accurate, you can feel and sense the shift within that person and within what they were saying, and that they're not telling you the truth, or whatever is happening. And how are we able to do this is because the frequency has changed, right? Because the frequency of truth holds a very specific frequency, and the frequency of not the truth holds a very specific frequency. And so if somebody was actually lying to you, or they knew that they were embellishing, or they knew that part of the story wasn't quite accurate, you're not reading the story that they are telling you. You are reading the energy that they are putting out. And so when their energy output changes, because now they're not speaking from a place of truth, they're speaking from a place of, embellishment. I wonder if they're going to pick up and know that this part isn't quite true, or whatever, those other energies that they would have going on inside of them. This is what's being picked up. So if you don't do this, if you can't figure that out, and you're like, dang it, I wish that I could figure that out, a good way that you could tune into this energy is to recognize your own, right? So if you are telling the truth, like any example, just tell the truth about something and just notice how your energy feels. And then if you were to start embellishing and adding something to the story that wasn't the truth, notice the energy, the feelings, the sensations, the thoughts that you have going on in you at that time. And then if you were to tell an outright lie, notice the energy shift that occurs in there as well. Man, you know what? I'd be a really good police detective. Just thinking about this right now. I would never do that, but So this is a good way, right? Because if you tune into your own energy and you become really familiar with your own energy, then you're going to notice those energy shifts in a conversation, and you're going to be able to decode what it is that you're picking up on. Like, let's say you're having a conversation, it's going on 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, oof, there was an energy shift. Well, what was that? What happened? And you'll be able to figure out what it is. But what happens when we hold doubt within us? So I want you to imagine here that you have your hand out, and in your hand is this ball of faith. It's just a ball, and it fills up your whole hand. You can't hold anything else because you got this ball of faith in it. Now let's imagine that there's a ball of doubt that wants to fit into your hand as well, but you don't have any more room. Well, where are you going to put it? Are you going to put it on this faith? Well, it's going to roll right off onto the ground. You can't hold two things at one time. You either have faith or you have doubt. So let's say that we have doubt in our hand. And this is not quite, it's like, oh, I just got a little bit of doubt, just like a bit. But you have that in your hand, and then you're like, oh, but look at all this faith that I have. Think about that, holding two balls in your hand, how uncomfortable that becomes, and how unproductive it is, and that you truly can't do it comfortably. And what are you trying to get out of this? What result are you looking for? Why would you want to hold on to both things? I wouldn't. You don't either. So if you have some area, like let's say that you've been praying about something and you're like, man, I just keep praying about this thing and it doesn't keep happening. Well, first of all, that's showing you that you have doubt because you keep praying about the same thing, because you're not believing, like the divine must be sleeping, he's not hearing me, whatever's happening, and you keep praying about this thing. This is showing your doubt. So what can you do to eradicate that doubt? Well, the most powerful thing that you can do is to get to know the love. And I know, you're like, the love, whatever, but it really is. If you knew this love like I know this love, then you wouldn't have any of the doubts. But until you know that love, on that level, there will be doubt that is present. Now, whether this doubt is in yourself, meaning, oh, I don't believe that I'm deserving and worthy of the love, that's still doubt. Or whether you doubt that, the divine can hear you, or you're like, I don't know, other people pray, they do these things, but they never happen for me. All that this is showing you is your belief system, right? Other things happen for other people, but they don't happen for me. You're laying out the belief that you have right there, and because your beliefs dictate your life, there you go. It's dictating your life, and now you see that things happen for other people and they don't happen for you, which reaffirms the faith that you believe that good things happen for other people and they don't happen for you. But all it's actually affirming is the belief that you hold. It is not affirming the divine truth. So if you could get to know this love. So I'm going to tell you about this love. It's so perfect, and it's so pure, and it's so wonderful, and it's so good. And there's nothing that it can't heal. There's nothing that it can't do. And it's so perfect, and it's so wonderful, and it's so blessed, and it's so beautiful. And the only thing that stops that love is the human mind. The human mind. So if you were to go into your mind and you were to eradicate everything that is not that love, you would see things shift for you. But this is not like okay, I'm going to do it for a day, and when I don't see results, I'm going to give up. That is like planting your seeds on rocky ground, right? You're like, okay, yeah, I heard this message. It's so good. I'm going to do it, right? You sprout up, you grow really fast, but there's no nutrients. There's no soil to hold you down. There's no substance. And so when the winds come and the sun comes out, well, pretty soon you shrivel up and you die and you give up completely. So you need to have fertile soil, meaning you need to have deep understanding and knowledge of where you should be planting your seeds. So speaking about this love, I've seen it play out in so many different ways. So even this morning, I know there's so many animals that come through in our circle times, which of course you can join us in our Christ Light circles any day through Zoom. I'll have a link down at the very bottom of the description, and you can pop on to that link, and it will tell you the days and the times and all the things, and you can hop on and you can join us live for basically what we do on there is set the intention that the highest and best message will come through. Often it is very specific messages for the people who happen to hop on. And there will be energy clearings and activations and all kinds of things that happen. And it's about, an hour and 20 minutes long is usually how long a circle is. Just depends on who shows up. But this morning, in the one that we had today, there was an armadillo that popped up kind of at the end, because they're totally random things. So I'm just given these visions from the divine, and it was showing you all, like the armadillo, have this inbuilt protection. But if you don't believe in it, then harm can come to you. And so this was talking about, energetic attachments as well, right? If we fear that something can hurt us, then it can hurt us. If we believe that something could attach to us, then it can attach to us. If we are resonating, if we are putting out the same frequency as that thing that we're afraid of, 100% is going to come and it's going to latch on and it's going to grab onto us, and then we're going to have to clear our energy. But if you do not believe in it, if you only put your faith and if you only put your belief in the divine love, then that is the only thing that can attach to you, because it's the only thing that you have put your faith and belief in. And this is what Jesus was talking about. He was talking about reaping and sowing and what you believe in. And like you said, and I've said this a million times before, you do not know that tomorrow something absolutely wonderful will not happen for you. But you guarantee for yourself that it will not. When you expect the same thing that happened yesterday to happen tomorrow. When you believe in your past, you're putting your faith in it. You're putting your faith in those things that happened in the past. And you're believing that they're going to come back and harm and wound you again in the future. And it's like, dude, don't do that. If you would only but believe in the love and put your faith in the love, look at your life. Look at what you've gone through. And then why do we always say, look at what you've gone through, and that we only view the negative? Why don't you look at what you've gone through where you see only the love, where you were supported through any of the trials or tribulations that you went through? When you look and you see oh man, I do have these people that, they call me, they got my back, they know something's going on, they're there, they support me, or whatever it is. If you could look back and you could examine and you could see all the times that love came through in your life, and you could really put your faith and your belief in that, then that's when things shift, and then that's when those become the experiences that play out in the future. Because it's imagine you're walking down the street and you spit, but you spit out ahead of you, right? Well, what happens? Eventually you keep walking and you run into that place that you spit into, right? So this is the same thing as the seeds that you're planting. So the thoughts and the words and the actions that you're taking, it's you've spit them out, and by speaking your word, you spit, you planted a seed. And at some point here in the future, you're going to come across the thing that you planted, and it's going to be ripe for harvest. And you're going to be able to harvest it and take it in. And so when you're thinking about this, are these things that you want to be planting? Now what happens if you're planting seeds, but they're filled with doubt? So think of the frequency of doubt. What does that feel like? Oh, it doesn't feel great, right? If you're I'm going to get this new thing, but then you have this inkling of doubt, you can feel it, right? It's a sucky feeling. It's not the truth. That's why it feels that way. But when you believe in it, it becomes the truth. But it's not the divine truth. The divine truth always feels like freedom and wonderful. It's freaking beautiful. And things that don't feel that way have been introduced by the mind, by the human mind, by our brain. And it causes us all kinds of detrimental things that happen in our life. We don't want that. So I want you to know that you are divinely protected. And so here's an exercise that you can do for yourself if you have any doubt. First of all, we always want to know why, right? We're like little kids, why? I know I asked that. I'm not just going to do anything without knowing the why behind it. And actually that's not true. If the divine tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. But when you can understand the why, then you can let that thing go. Because you're then seeing it from a different or a higher perspective. So If you have doubt in you, a good way to remove it is to meditate. So sit there, clear your mind, breathe like, I don't know, 10, 20 times, nice deep breaths, nice deep breaths. Just bring yourself into a calm state with your eyes closed, and then tune into your body. And then ask yourself, hey body, I want you to reveal this doubt to me that I have within me. And then you might tune into different parts of your body. So you could imagine, your energy system, and you could locate where the doubt's at. Like, oh, I'm feeling a twinge over here. I'm sensing this over here. I'm seeing this over here, whatever it happens to be. Tune into that particular place. Shrink yourself up. You're all doing this in your mind, your imagination. And you jump into that place and you say, hey, what am I doubting? And why is this doubt here? And it will tell you. It will tell you. And then when it tells you, what you're going to do is you're going to love it for being there. Why is it there? Because it loves you and it wants to protect you. That's why it's there. So you're going to then send love energy to that doubt. And it's like, well, why would I love something I want to get rid of? Just trust me on this one. This is how it's done. When you send love to it, then it loosens its grip, right? This is like, somebody who's, I don't know, jacking off and they're being a bully or something, and if somebody was to just come up and give them a hug, all of a sudden they'd soften and they would stop doing that. It's like these things are bullies to us, and when we just love them, then they're like, okay, I guess I should stop, and then they just ease off and become more peaceful. So tune into these parts that you have this doubt and love them for being there, because they love you. They love you. And then when you send love to them, you're going to notice that they soften and that they fade, and then you can start to let these things drain out of your body. So if you were to, see what color that is, or feel what color it is, or know or hear what color it is, just drain it out of your body and thank it for going as it's going, and thank it for having been there for as long as it was. Then bring in the divine love into that place instead, because all that was love, right? It was trying to protect you. So it's like, thank you for doing that job for me, but now I want real divine love to come into this place. And so then you focus that love there on that place until it's filled up. Then tune into where there's more doubt, if there happens to be, and do this with each place. But this is self-work. This is the spiritual work. This is the growth. This is what it is that you are doing for yourself. And when you do this constantly, every day, then think about all the progress that you have in a year. Right? Let's say you're only going to do it once a week. Whatever, man. If you stick to it, fine. That's 52 steps, massive steps forward that you will have taken in a year. If you're going to devote yourself to spiritual practice, and you know that once a week is not optional and you have to do it daily, well, that's friggin' 365 times in a year, man. Like, how far have you gone? In 3 years, you're 1,000 steps forward. You're 1,000 steps higher than you were before. This is the work that you can do for yourself. Because Jesus was talking about the mustard seed, and in the Bible it's a misquote. It says, oh, if you have a mustard seed of faith, then you would. And it's like, no, that was not what he was saying. He said, if you had a mustard seed of doubt, then you do not have faith. And if you don't have faith, well, what's the result that you're going to get? It's not the faith. It's going to be the doubt. The thing that you feared the most is going to be the thing that happens. This is how people manifest all kinds of things in the physical body. They manifest the things in their life because they are afraid that they are going to happen. And because they hold this subconscious fear of, oh, this thing is going to happen, they've planted a seed and then it happens. And then when it happens, maybe they've realized the truth now at this point. Oh, I've planted these seeds. And they think, oh, I planted new seeds. Why isn't that thing happen? I wished for it so strongly yesterday at 100%, and it didn't happen for me the next day. That's not how it works, man. When you have a full, clean mental house, when your house is clean, then you can manifest like that. Then you can speak with conviction, and you can get it to happen like that, just like that. Because you truly, truly, truly have faith. But until you have really cleaned house, it is really difficult to have that faith that is so powerful that you can literally move mountains. But when you have faith that's so powerful that you can move mountains, you're not going to move mountains. Because why would you do that? You're like, the divine creation is perfect. Why would I move a mountain? What kind of damage might that do? I mean, if the mountain needed to move, for some reason, then you would ask what was for the best and highest of the divine, and then of course the mountain would move. But if you're just, starting out on this and you're saying, well, I believe this so much, why isn't it happening? Well, now I don't even believe in this. I don't even believe in it anymore because I believed in it and then it didn't happen for me. All that is showing is your doubt. That's all that's showing is your lack of faith. I know for myself, it was years of tests and things that I had to go through, and everything that would pop up, it would just make me laugh. It would just make me laugh, and I would think, oh, this is coming back from, this time when this happened, when this seed was planted however long ago. And I would laugh about it because I'm not going to get upset about it. Why would I get upset about it and plant a seed of being upset so that later in the future I can walk over that seed of being upset and have to harvest it again? No freaking thanks, man. Not happening. So when these things presented, it was like, oh, what a beautiful gift. Oh, now my karma from this is resolved. Oh, what a wonderful thing that this is. And so everything that came, I didn't judge it. I loved it. And then this is the shift that happens, because as soon as you shift into the everything is actually working for me, and you really actually believe it and you stick with it, then things begin to change. But if you examine your day and you're like, okay, well, I had this super good meditation and this was what was happening in it, and then you go about your day complaining or criticizing or thinking about all these terrible things and enmeshing yourself in negative emotions, that meditation ain't going to do nothing for you, honey. Because you all day long are planting those other seeds. How much time did you spend meditating? Okay, well, that you've planted and you're going to harvest it at some point. How much time did you spend in emotional turmoil? Well, that you planted and you're going to have to harvest that at some point too. There's not, this doesn't outweigh that. It just is what it is. What you plant, you harvest. This is why this is a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. Man, we've been going through these things for friggin' millions of years. Resolving karma for millions of years. You think you can resolve all the karma that you have, the good and the perceivably negative, which it also is not because it's just for learning, in one lifetime? You can't. So all these things that are presented to us, just be so thankful for them, and then ensure for yourself that you are planting seeds that you are absolutely going to want to harvest here in the future. But all that I can say to you here today as we wrap up is that if you have any doubt within you, it is time to eradicate it. This is the message for you today. It's time to get rid of that doubt. It's time. Today's the day. Just begin working on it. And just know that if you were to, do that meditation that I suggested however long ago, if you were to do that for the next 365 days, where will you be at? Where will you be at? It's a beautiful thing. It is going to be a beautiful place that you'll be at. You'll be at a beautiful place in 7 days from now, 3 days from now, 2 days from now, because you chose and you made a decision. And then you're now acting on that choice and that decision, and that is determining the things that go forward in your life. But this is the message that I have for you guys here today. If anyone does want to work with me personally, you can hop on the realhealinginstitute.com and you can check out and see all the offerings that I have. They are extremely beneficial. Most people's minds are blown by the time that they don't know what to expect. I don't even like telling people because I just like to see their minds being blown when they see all the things that have shifted and changed, and they come out and they're like, wow, I don't even know how to describe what happened. And I'm like, I know, right? You don't, which is why I can't really describe and tell you what happens, because I don't even know what it is. It's divinely led. But there's deep soul healing that happens in these sessions. And if you want to pop onto one of our Christ Light circles that I do with me and my friend Alora, you can totally do that. And you can follow us on the CosmicChristForce.com, and that gives you little snippets. You can see what these circles are like. Of course, they're totally different depending on who shows up. The messages that are supposed to come through, come through. But this is what I have for you guys here today. Love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.